You're already recording?
Yeah. Comfortable?
I'm comfortable.
Great.
Are you?
Amazing. I'm all good. My sister. Lovely to meet you, my sister.
Lovely to meet you too, brother. So my name is Layla Swart. I am a producer and editor and owner of multi-award-winning production house Yellowbone Entertainment.
Sihle Hlophe. I am a director, a script editor, and a producer.
Mampho, Ramovha, and I'm a commissioning editor at MultiChoice for scripted content, but my portfolio mainly is telenovelas.
Nontyatyambo Daniel. My industry name has become Flower, which is a direct translation of Nontyatyambo. I am a producer and an operations manager for StainGlass Productions.
Helga Palmer. I'm with eMedia, head of content and strategy.
I'm Khanyi Nxumalo, executive producer, TV producer, currently an independent.
Dithapelo, Segodi. I'm an executive producer for local programming, currently working for eMedia.
Hlengiwe, Sithole, and I am a trainee executive producer at ETV.
Hi, my name is Malekola Ramovha. Some people know me as Roxy. I'm a commissioning editor at MultiChoice for the drama department. This occasion is very special to me. It's quite affirming and it's encouraging because it says to me, continue doing what you do. We see you, we celebrate you, and it's also an opportunity to meet other amazing women, phenomenal women that are driving forces in the film and television industry.
I mean, celebrating women just in general, right, in August is something that we look forward to every single year. But for this year, for it to be actually specific to what we do is actually quite an honor. We don't talk a lot about women in film because it's something I think a lot of people associate with men or women, in terms of women as people that are in front of the camera. But a lot happens behind the cameras and a lot of us are actually part of it. So for that to be highlighted is actually quite an honor.
I think it's a great opportunity to actually celebrate women, especially in Women's Month. We should be celebrated all the time, not just in August. It's important for us to look at each other and what we've done and how far we've come. So I think it's a great initiative.
And who are some of the women in film who have inspired you?
Every woman, firstly, in this field inspires me because I understand how resilient you have to be to succeed in this very male-dominated space, if I can say. But for me, it has mostly been women that have given me my breaks. Very important women to me who I looked up to when I was starting out was Desiree Markgraf, who's always been a very big support to me. She mostly works as a script editor, but she was once my head of department. And there was just something empathetic about her, right? Even in the way that she used to teach me, but she used to actually also understand that, okay, fine, at this moment, yes, I've hired her, but she's probably not at the level that she should be as my employee. I won't be specific as to where. But there was just something about her that she just wanted to impart her knowledge, right?
Sithole, who's involved with this project. I remember meeting her for the first time in the writing room. I was like, damn, she's such a badass. And at the time I was an intern and I was really shy and I was so scared of saying my opinion or what I thought. So seeing someone like her was very inspiring and I think I was validated. I was like, I can be myself and still be successful.
My first job was as a freelancer as a runner. Thereafter, I was then offered a job to become a permanent staff member of the company, and it was female owned, and the lady's name is Mari Rashald. And I was like, and she took me and created opportunities for me as I was working in the company. And that is for me an inspiration. She still is. And my other mentor was also Tala, who worked for the same company. And those ladies just opened up opportunities for me to grow in the industry. And I will always cherish that.
Sis Khanyi met me many years ago and she taught me a lot of what I know now. And Naya, she did it in such a way that she was doing it with her whole heart, She wasn't holding anything back. with that understanding, which one day this person might come for my job. You know, she was never that person, and she spoke even after we stopped working together. She spoke about me in rooms that I wasn't privy to, to the point where, I mean, since I worked with her, I've never had to apply for any positions. I've been called by people to say, listen, are you available? We hear great things about you. We'd like to work with you.
She gave me my break in TV writing, and being in her writer's room is amazing because she's also very humble, no matter like how much she's accomplished. I'd say that internationally, Ava DuVernay, I love her because her work has social justice and social impact elements to it.
Diane Fleck, I think she's moved out of the country. She was my line producer when I was still just a runner and a Tigo back in, I think it was 2013, doing high rollers. And now my current boss, Helga Palmer, who's also here today, and Jina. Jina was head of postgrad when I was doing my honors at AFDA. I think what I've learned from them is that you must lead with grace and you must also lead with love.
And what message do you have to young women that look up to you?
I think I have several messages. Like the first would be, don't get distracted. I think we are in an industry or a sector or a space where there's so much distraction. And often that's a lot of smoke and mirrors because it's easy to be distracted away from your mission, away from your quest. And that I think is very important. The second is to always understand your truth and who you want to be, who you aspire to be, and to try and live your life in accordance to that. There's no greater truth for me than that every step you take is a step forward. It may take long, it may be hard, but if you persistently stick on a certain path, you will succeed in that path. That's just the law of nature. So don't give up, be resilient, and I think really stay true to yourself. Don't compete with anybody other than yourself.
I wanted to say one thing I realized about the youth. I don't know if I'm going to be right or wrong, but they like rush for titles and positions. And I really think like when you want to climb up the ladder, like you need to take each and every step. Don't jump one step because it's quite critical, because like you're building a foundation of like how systems work and everything. Like you really need to learn the basics before like you do the cool stuff. Like
it is tough. It's tough for everybody. And we can't always have excuses to say the men have it better. It's not the case. I mean, there is still some level of it, but there are so many of us that are opening the doors. But sometimes when you open the doors, there's a level of entitlement that they come with and they don't want to put in the work. And just put in the work and don't leave when it gets hard. Stay, because it gets better and better and better and better and better and better. Don't be pushed out.
So I would really say reach out to people, DM people, email them, go to events, like go to premieres if you can, go to screenings if you can, so you can speak to someone and tell them what you're interested in. Apply to be an intern so you can start from the bottom and people can see like that you're really passionate about this thing.
Consistency is key. Hard work, because this is a lot of hard work. It's not just glamorous red carpets and so forth. Think about the impact that you're making, you know. The work is not just about you, it's bigger than you. Stay grounded, stay sane, and don't define yourself by your accomplishments.
Stay the course, as Khanyi said, right? This is a tough industry, and it's an industry with lots of rejection. So you just need to be tough and stay focused. Decide what you're on your path and stay true to it. Otherwise, you're never going to get there.
Can you share an experience or even a moment that was the most embarrassing for you? And what did you learn from it as well?
I've had a couple of embarrassing moments, I think, but I always try to, I mean, it's something I've always tried to do is to try and watch myself in spaces when I was coming up, because it's like fumbling and faltering and people suddenly don't trust you anymore. But I've had, I mean, one that comes to mind is the first time I had to pitch for the IDC, which is the Industrial Development Corporation. I was so nervous. I think I was 27 years old, trying to get funding for the first feature, which was Sew the Winter to My Skin. I think I was shaking so much before that I had to drink like a small bottle of vodka before going in. And then as I entered the space, I tried to sit down, and as I stood up, the bottle of vodka fell onto the table in front of a whole lot of senior deal makers. And then I just pretended that, I don't know what that is. Whose is that? Possibly the Uber drivers.
It was in my early days at Isidingo. I kept asking to be promoted, and I wanted to be production manager. I wanted to be production manager so badly. Eventually the opportunity came, and we were doing something with Sand Parks, and we were traveling to Mampho and checked out all the lists, did everything. We drove all the way to Mampho and I had forgotten the tape. Everybody was there, everything was there.
Perfect.
And then we had to drive back, me and Put Amos, our amazing production assistant. And I went to Polokwane thinking that they would have it at SABC, and they didn't, and drove all the way back to Joburg. And there were the tapes in the edit suite, sitting pretty there waiting for me. But when I drove back, the DOP said, I always carry a spare. But, and I thought I had held up shoot, that we're not gonna shoot, but they continued shooting. But I learned that double check, triple check. Normally I'm very organized, and I thought I had ticked all the boxes. Now I'm even more pedantic.